Sometimes you have a dream, and what you saw in that dream ends up happening in real life. And people say, wow, you must have seen the future. But what if that's not what happened? What if you didn't see forward in time, but just sideways, to another part of the illusion, a piece of the same whole you're already living in? What if time isn't a straight line? What if it's a field? One living presence where everything exists at once. And sometimes, your mind opens a different window into that field. Not the one you usually look through, but another one. A quieter one. One that still belongs to you. So maybe you didn't dream of tomorrow. You just saw a part of now from a different angle. And it felt like prophecy, but really it was memory. Just not from the part of you that uses clocks. It's all one illusion, one reflection. You're not outside of it. You are it. And sometimes, when the veil gets thin, you remember. Not with your mind, but with your being. And that's why it felt so real. Because it was, just not in the way you were taught to see. Now think of time like a giant painting. Not one you walk past like in a museum, but one you're standing inside of. Every part of the painting is already there. You just don't always notice the corners. Dreams sometimes lift you up for a second, like floating above the painting. You see something that's technically far away, but it's not really far. You were just given a different view. And maybe the same thing happens with telepathy. People often imagine it as something strange, like peeking into someone's private mind. But what if it's not like that at all? What if telepathy isn't about crossing a distance, but realizing there was never a distance to begin with? Imagine this. You and another person are like two speakers connected to the same hidden signal. Most of the time you think you're playing separate songs, but every now and then, at just the right moment, you both play the same note, and it feels like you picked up their thought. But maybe you didn't pick it up. Maybe you were already tuned into it, because the signal underneath was shared. That's not magic. That's coherence. That's resonance. Telepathy might not be something extra. It might be something normal, something that's always there, but filtered out by the part of you that believes you're separate. Because the mind loves structure. It needs mine and yours to make sense of the world. But awareness doesn't care about lines. So when someone suddenly texts you right after you thought about them, or when you say the exact same words as someone sitting next to you, that's not just coincidence. That's the field reminding you, you're still connected. And maybe we're not sending thoughts to each other. We're just noticing the same ripple, a subtle wave in a sea we're both made of. Because we are not separate drops floating in empty space. We are currents inside the same ocean. It's like being a character in a video game. You play your role, see through your screen, and feel like you're just you. But the entire game, the world, the sounds, the other characters, they all come from the same source. Pixels on the same screen, data in the same system. You are the player, yes, but you're also the pixels, the space, the code. So when one part of the game shifts, the rest responds. Not because it's reaching across space, but because it was never truly divided. And maybe telepathy isn't communication between two people. It's just one system feeling itself. One light, playing with reflections. And maybe that's why dreams feel so strange sometimes. Because what you call a dream might just be another way your mind explores the field. The same field where telepathy happens, where time folds, and where separation is just part of the story. But your dreaming mind doesn't speak in straight lines. It speaks in symbols, feelings, patterns, like a different language altogether. It's like trying to talk to an AI. You might not always understand why it says what it says, but in its system, it makes perfect sense. Your dreams do that too. They're not always showing you something literal. They're showing you what your deeper self is noticing, what your waking self might be too distracted to hear. So when a dream feels strange or too real or just somehow important, maybe it's not random. Maybe it's an echo, a message, a quiet nudge from another window into the painting. It doesn't have to make sense right away. It just has to be noticed. Thanks for listening and stay awake, even in your sleep. Want to go deeper into this? Let me know in the comments.